Michigan Out of Doors Online is brought to you in part by Tri-County Logging. Experienced in sustainable forestry practices, Tri-County Logging can help you manage your property by keeping your woods healthy and generate income. Serving southern and mid-Michigan for nearly 50 years, TriCountyLogging.com.
Hey everyone, welcome to Michigan Out of Doors. I'm Jenny Olson-Silik, and we've got an exciting all-new show in store for you this week. I'm going to introduce you to a brand new organization here in Michigan representing both snowmobilers and ATV users. We're also going to take a look at some changes that have been happening over the last couple of years as far as using ORVs and ATVs on our roadways here in Michigan. You won't want to miss that story, but don't worry, Jimmy and Jordan also have some exciting hunting action for us this week.
Well, that's right, Jenny. We do have some good hunting action on this week's show. Jordan Brown is going to take us to the tree stand, show us what the last several weeks of his bow season have looked like, and I'm going to take you to the Goose fields of the mid-Michigan area where we had a really good day. Lots of good stuff on this week's show. You stay tuned. I'm Jimmy Gretzinger. It's time for Michigan Out of Doors.
From the first spring rains to the soft summer breeze, dancing on the pine forest floor, the autumn colors catch your eyes. Here come the crystal winter skies. It's Michigan, Michigan out of doors.
What a beautiful day in the woods.
Someday our children all will see this is their finest legacy, the wonder and the love of Michigan. As the wind comes whispering through the trees, the sweet smell of nature's in the air. From the Great Lakes to the quiet stream, shining like a sportsman's dream, it's a love of Michigan we all share.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Country Smokehouse, a sportsman's meat processor and Michigan destination since 1988. Offers a variety of homemade smoked meats and Michigan-made products in-store and online. The Country Smokehouse features an outdoor barbecue and bar. Details at countrysmokehouse.com. By Jay's Sporting Goods, with locations in Clare and Gaylord. Jay's has been serving the Michigan outdoor enthusiast since 1971, with a wide variety of outdoor products. The gear, the knowledge, the tradition of Jay's. On the web at jaysportinggoods.com. By Grilla Grills of Holland, Michigan, makers of wood pellet, charcoal grills, and professional pellet smokers. Grilla Grills are designed for ease of use to improve your grilling and smoking skills. More information at grillagrills.com.
Soaking in the rich tradition of Michigan hunting for over 30 years. Vanguard is proud to sponsor our friends at Michigan Out of Doors TV.
Well, here it is, the first week in November. Heading back out to the bow stand right now. It's been an incredible year so far, and for our next segment on this week's show, what I wanted to do was show you guys a few of my favorite bow hunts from October. This year's been a little bit different because I've really been chasing one buck in particular and kind of holding out for him. It's a buck that I had a good encounter with last year on a bean field. Ended up getting a little too greedy with the footage and never ended up getting a shot. Long story short, that buck actually survived, which is pretty rare for this area. He's a year older, and so far my season has really revolved around that one buck.
Well, it's October 15th. For this time of the year, it's pretty darn cold. It's about 30 degrees this morning. Feels like mid to high 20s, so pretty chilly. Sitting on a piece of property where I'm really waiting on one buck, a buck that I had encounters with last year, who somehow survived and is around this year, so he's probably the only deer I would shoot out here. I'm sitting in a oak flat, kind kind of near a bedding area that he used pretty often. Not really a stand. I had a lot of encounters with him last year, but I did see him out of that stand a time or two, and it's a pretty safe spot to sit where I won't jeopardize the bedding area, so I don't expect to see him, but you never know. Surprise myself a little bit right there. It's one thing to say you're going to wait on a specific buck. It's another thing when another nice buck gives you an opportunity on camera at about 15 yards. I have no idea what that buck is. I've never seen him before, but I'm positive he was a 3.5-year-old buck just by his body structure. He had really good mass. Kind of shorter tine buck. I'm not sure if I've got pictures of him or not. I don't think so, but it's so hard to film yourself, and to do it on a 3-year-old buck is even more difficult. To do it with a bow is even more difficult. And I could have just done it all right there. This absolute chip shot on a beautiful, beautiful buck. I might regret that one.
Back in the bow stand tonight. Got a little rain coming in here, but it looks like it's going to be just after it gets dark, so been out here for a couple hours already. Had a few deer walk by. The sun was so bright. I didn't think I could get the camera on them though, so it's been a good start to the sit. This is one of my favorite tree stands. I've killed a buck out of here before. My wife's killed a buck out of here before, just in a really good location. This farm, I'm really waiting on one particular buck. He's shown back up recently on trail cam. As a matter of fact, I have pictures of him from this morning. So I know he's around, I know he's alive. It's basically going to be that deer or nothing for me. So I'm sitting a stand where I saw him last year in late October a couple of times. Gonna need some luck. It's tough when you're hunting one individual deer, but we'll see.
After a couple of hours in the stand, I was surprised by a nice buck entering the other side of the field. This buck pushed around just about every other deer and made rubs and scrapes along the way. Just as I thought he was getting ready to leave, he turned and started heading right towards my stand, once again testing my patience.
It's been an absolutely incredible night. A ton of deer moving. I've seen half a dozen different bucks. It's exactly what I was hoping for. Minus one deer. Had a really nice buck come in here, about 45 yards. But I'm waiting on one.
Well, it's October 24th. Back at it tonight. It would be a small deer hunting miracle if this works out. But I came in here and hung a stand this afternoon. I brought my climber. I thought there was a couple good trees here I could get into. Of course there wasn't. Found this cedar tree in the same area that someone else must have hunted out of in the past because the limbs are cut. I was able to climb up it with the bottom of my climber and make a little perch here, but it was not ideal and was not quite getting set up. So I'm sitting near a scrape where I've had pictures of the buck that I'm after. Pretty limited intel on this guy, so I don't have a ton to go off of no matter what, but I do have a few pictures of him on this scrape, and the stand right now is just downwind of that scrape a little ways, so I don't necessarily expect him to come out to that scrape, but I can see over a big bean field, and I'm hoping that maybe he'll come out to this bean field tonight and I'll at least get a look at him. Weather conditions are perfect, so hopefully we'll get lucky.
been an absolutely incredible start to the night. It's about 5:30 and I've already seen 15 does and fawns and 3 bucks. 2 really nice 2-year-old bucks. Both of them came within range. Hit the scrape that I was sitting here for. Couldn't have asked for a better start. It's a beautiful October night. Really, really lucky to be out in the stand right now. Now if we can get that one deer I'm waiting on to show up, I'll feel even better. But either way, man, awesome night so far.
Even without filling a buck tag in October, it was still an incredible month of bow hunting. And although I'm still hoping to notch a tag in November, I'm thankful for all of the hunts I've had so far. Good luck to all of the other bow hunters out there still looking to fill a tag.
Well, when it comes to waterfowl hunting on the show this year, we have had nothing but bad luck. Whether it got canceled because of weather or schedules changed or whatever it might be, we just have not had a lot of waterfowl success. We have been out trying. Last week we had a good duck and goose hunt that Jordan brought us. Well, this week I'm going to take you to the fields of the mid-Michigan area where there were a lot of geese in the air.
How do I look, Mom?
Well, the game plan, hopefully we'll get the geese that are coming from the north to swing around to the east and come into the wind, which is coming out of the west.
Okay.
So if they do, that's when we'll call the shot.
All right, and is there many cut cornfields around here right now or no?
There are a few, but this is one of the biggest ones. And for some reason, it's been in favor with the geese the last 5-6 days.
And you got anybody that can shoot with us here today?
Nobody.
It's all up to you.
Yeah, there you go.
I got hooked up with this band of ne'er-do-wells by Jim Wood. Jim is the chef we do quite a few recipes with, and even though he knows these guys very well, this was his first venture in layout blinds. You ever done this kind of hunting before, Jim?
Not out of one of these things.
Yeah?
Should be interesting.
Now, if we get some geese, do you have a recipe lined up?
Yes, I've already taken care of it. It's all good. Everything's gonna be great.
And how do you know these guys?
Mark is one of my best friends from grade school, and this is his dad and his family and his brother, friends. Yeah.
Where are we today?
We are in Shepherd, Michigan.
Shepherd, Michigan. Wow. Isabella County.
Yes, sir. The greatest county in the state.
Well, best county or not, I'm here to tell you, after a few hours of nothing, it seemed every bird in mid-Michigan was going to fly over us. After literally 1,000 birds went right over top of us, we finally had some that liked our setup, and they were on their way in.
Okay, take them. Reload, guys, reload.
Well, we had knocked down quite a few, and quickly picked them up. The belly of a downed bird can flare birds in a hurry, so once back in our blinds, we had some more birds working our setup.
Take them, guys, take them.
Well, I'll tell you, I think the biggest thing is if you just watch the geese, and if they're coming at you, just shut right up. Sometimes if they start heading away, then we'll hit the calls a little heavier when they get out a little bit. And normally, if you're not a good caller, which I'm not, it's best just to let them come if they can.
Well, with the sun setting and minutes before closing time, our last group was on its way in. take him, guys.
You know, you just got to be patient goose hunting. Eventually they're going to come in, and then a lot of them fly over. But you always find some that just don't find any problem with what you got, and they land and you have a chance at them.
Well, we did okay. I mean, nothing till the last, 10 minutes of shooting time here, but...
And that's goose hunting. You wait all day when you think they're going to come in, and then usually they pile in right about dark.
Now, that banded one fell over on our side. Do you think that was yours?
I'm sure it was. You got it documented, right?
Of course.
All right.
Is that worth it there, you think, all that weight?
Oh my God, hallelujah. All the tonnage in the air and just coming at us.
That was awesome.
Oh, it don't get any better.
That was like B-52 bombers coming in.
Yeah,
Yep,
don't get any
Shooting
better.
there, boys. You did all right.
Yeah, 12 out of 2,000, that ain't bad, eh?
Well, we had a great day today, and it was really fun to get to know these guys. They were awesome. We had about 12 birds by the end of the day, and we had really no birds at all for about 4 hours. Then the sky was full. We did have a big dinner planned as well, so we went back to one of the guys' houses that lives nearby, and we started working on getting these birds cleaned up. Now Jim was up to bat in the kitchen, and he had a recipe in mind for this makeshift goose camp.
What are we going to do here, young fella? We're going to sear them off over there, and we're going to cook them in a really low oven at 225 degrees. And then in the meantime, we're going to make a sauce, a black pepper cream sauce.
Ooh, nice. Is there a trick to doing geese, or are they fairly easy to work with?
Well, you can either cook them really fast to like I said, to 120 degrees, or cook them for a long time in some sort of liquid for hours to break them down, but there's no in between.
Okay. I was pretty curious to see how this goose was going to taste. I'm always interested in new ways to cook wild game, and as Jim got the goose underway, Pat and Gary got after some wild turkey as well. They cut the bird into about 1-inch cubes, and they simply battered it all up with some drakes mixed with water. Jim pulled the goose out and sliced it nice and thin, as you can see. It's also still pretty rare. And of course, his blackberry cream sauce was out of this world, and this dish was gone in no time. I also have to say that once the turkey hit the fryer, there was a line to get at this stuff. It was super good and very easy, something you may want to try. As with most camps, the ribbing went on most of the night, and Jim was the target here, being presented as camp cook extraordinaire. Jim had said earlier on the hunt that Isabella was the best county in the state. I will leave that for others to decide, but you know what? If it's not, it was darn close tonight.
With more and more families getting involved in off-roading with side-by-side ORVs and ATVs, we thought we'd take a look at some of the recent changes that have happened here in the last couple of years as far as how you can use those ATVs on the roadways here in Michigan. With growing popularity in recent years of side-by-side utility vehicles, we've seen a couple of big changes in rules and regulations on both trails and roadways here in Michigan. We caught up with Jim Keltz, president of the Michigan Snowmobile and ORV Association, to talk about those changes.
With former Governor Snyder, he put in the Public Act 288, which opened up all the state trails, state land, and roads in the forest, open to all users, unless marked closed. Most cases, motorized have to have a trail permit in order to be legally out in the state forest with their vehicles. Horses, of course, and hikers, bicyclists, they don't need to have permits at this point. That goes county by county. Depends a lot on what your ordinances are in that particular county. I know at least up here in northern Lower, most of the counties up here have opened up the shoulders of the roads to ORV usage, not on state roads. But county roads and such as that, they can ride on the shoulder in most cases.
Regulations for riding on shoulders of paved roads in Michigan varies by county, but a statewide rule prohibits riding on state highways. That's all roads beginning with an M, and federal roads such as interstates. Before riding, please check with your particular county for their rules. For instance, in the county of St. Clair, where I live, ORVs are allowed on the shoulders of roads from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m., can't exceed 25 miles per hour, and must have working headlights and taillights. Also in St. Clair County, riders over the age of 12 without a driver's license can operate an ORV on the roads only under direct supervision of a parent or guardian. All riders must wear protective helmets and eyewear unless their ORV is equipped with proper seat belts and roof. Most counties have their rules and regulations posted on their websites. Jim says that when it comes to this growing family sport, these new laws are a great idea.
Well, absolutely, because people, if they're out riding for the day, they like to go and maybe they have to get gas or maybe they want to stop somewhere for lunch. And most cases, trails do not go to particular restaurants or something that they may want to go to. So it gives them the ability, while they're out for the day having fun with the family, to go ahead and stop at a restaurant, get something to eat in midday, and relax.
With more and more families getting into the ORV sports, the Michigan Snowmobilers Association and ORV Association decided earlier this year to merge into one organization.
The organization started in 1982 as Michigan Snowmobile Association. It was formed out of 3 different associations, and at that time in 1982 were put together as one association to represent the snowmobile sport in Michigan. Since then, as of May, we've gone ahead and morphed into the Michigan Snowmobile and ORV Association. It makes sense because we use the same trails for the most part, and there are a lot of issues that involve snowmobile and ORV, and we might as well come together and work together in harmony, and that was the thought behind putting it all together. A lot of our clubs across the state were already combined with ORV and snowmobile together, and so we just thought that it'd be a good time to go ahead and combine the associations together and get delegates from all over the state to be a part of the organization. In the state of Michigan, we have most of the trails are funded by trail permits. Snowmobile has a trail permit, and ORV has a trail permit. And those funds are drawn into the state of Michigan, to the DNR, and from there they're distributed out as separate funds, one for ORV, one for snowmobile, so the funds are not combined together, commingled. And from there, we do trail work, buy equipment, signs, pay for brushing. Just about everything that's done out on the trails is all volunteer work. And so we're there to be the conduit for both snowmobile and ORV in Lansing.
It takes a huge network of clubs and groups across the entire state to keep our trails maintained, groomed, marked, and usable in both summer and winter months. With the additional access of most all public land, the riding opportunities are virtually endless.
Again, with Public Act 288 opened up, all these trails out here are roads. This is state property, and so therefore they can, ride just about anywhere they want unless there's a sign that's marked it closed.
Okay. So how does that concern snowmobilers? Like, we want that freshly groomed snowmobile trail. Can an ORV come barreling down a snowmobile trail?
At this point, yes. We are in the midst of trying to put legislation in as to stopping wheeled vehicle on a groomed snowmobile trail. It doesn't mean we're eliminating all trails during the winter, but as far as if we spend the money, and we spend a lot of money grooming trails every winter, that we want to keep wheel traffic off it because it creates ruts sometimes, and it's unsafe.
Jim says in most cases, snowmobilers and ORV riders are one and the same. Many families enjoy both sports year-round.
They overlap a lot, and that's the reason why this organization was formed. We had a lot of our snowmobile partners, riders out there who also during the summer enjoy ORV riding. So they have quads and side-by-sides and this type of thing. It's a family sport, especially with the advent of the side-by-side now. You got 2-seaters, you got 4-seaters, you got 6-seaters, and it's becoming more and more family oriented, so that you can load the family up in and go out and spend the day.
Trail riding is just one more way to enjoy all of the natural resources our great state has to offer. It's an awesome way to get the entire family outside and spending time together here in Michigan's Out of Doors. Thanks for joining us this week for Michigan Out of Doors. Make sure you join us again next week as we get you excited for the firearm deer season opening day. We'll let you know where we will all be out in the woods. If you'd like to see where we are and where we're headed next on a daily basis, you can always check us out online.
Well, that's right, Jenny. Online is a great way to kind of keep tabs on us. We're on most of the social media sites. And of course, our website is MichiganOutofdoorsTV.com. Full episodes of the show there. Make sure you are joining us over the next couple of weeks next week to get you excited for the upcoming deer season. Of course, we'll have our annual Palace in the Popple poem, as well as some, hopefully some more bow hunting action and some pheasant hunting as well. So lots of good stuff coming over the next several weeks. Make sure you get out and enjoy this time of the year. And if we don't see you in the woods or on the water, hopefully we'll see you right back here next week on your PBS station.
Michigan Out of Doors is presented by Greenstone Farm Credit Services, making recreational land ownership possible across Michigan and northeast Wisconsin. Begin your land financing journey at one of Greenstone's 37 locations or visit greenstonefcs.com. By EOTech, a Michigan company, equipping law enforcement and sportsmen alike with quality optics, creating jobs for Michigan workers. On the web at eotechgear.com. By Final Rest. Final Rest is a Michigan company that offers portable stability you can take with you into the field. Information on all their options can be found at finalrestshootingsystems.com. By Showspan, producing consumer shows including the Ultimate Fishing Show Detroit, January 9th through 12th at Novi Suburban Collection Showplace. The show features fishing tackle, trips, boats, and seminars from top pros. The Ultimate Fishing Show, Novi, January 9th through 12th. Closed captioning provided by Randy's Hunting Center, serving Michigan as Ruger and Leupold's National Dealer of the Year and inventor of Ruger's 450 Bushmaster rifle.
When I wander far away, a dream stays with me night and day. It's the road that leads to my home state. I am a Michigan man. Changing seasons paint the scene like rainbow trout in a hidden stream. The white-tailed deer in the tall pine trees. I am a Michigan man.